Hey guys, this is Momin. In today's video, I will show you how to construct very simple subject with the draw first and then uh, render in a watercolor. So always visualize the shape of the subject that you try to paint or draw a sketch. So I start with the head. I put a circle, a small circle, and I will check see what the rest of the shape is. And as you can see, I'm going putting the beak, the eye, constructing the main shape first, and yeah, later on we'll break it down in a smaller shapes. So after that, I will render this into the watercolor. So it's very common to, it's very basic rule of the sketching that you have to observe what type of shape is you are going to draw, what type of shape of that subject that you have. Then once you have that shape, big shape, and then you work in smaller shapes to get more details. But the main shape is the main thing. Once you have that done, then it's very easy to control the proportions and the gesture of the subject that you try to draw or sketch. So I have almost 60% sketches done. You can see that I've made the beak, try to clean it up a little bit. The eye, I put it, if you think it's too much, you can always erase it and get the right proportions. So now I use the eraser from my other mechanical pencil. Now I'm using the mechanical pencil to finish the rest of the sketch of this part. Same rule apply with any subject you draw. Just a portraiture or a landscape or a small subject like that. You need to observe the main shape of your subject, draw the outline, and then you work in the smaller details. And drawing the tail and a little bit wings. I'm not putting any texture yet because I will be using, like I said, I will render this in a watercolor later once I complete the sketch. Just a little bit, I put a texture on the head, get some more detail, but that's enough. You don't want to put too much graphite on your sketch, otherwise the graphite will smudge with the watercolor. You don't want to put too much detail So always be careful. Your sketch has to be very simple and doesn't carry a lot of details. So you don't need to draw everything in the reference photo. So you when you start something like this, you can just you can leave something and you add something, but in this case we don't have enough here in just a one bird sitting on the surface, so nothing to leave. Or I can add something here, but this video is mainly about how to draw first with the big shape and then you break it down in a smaller shape. Now sketch is completed. I am mixing some cadmium orange because the belly of the bird is kind of a dark orange color, like burnt sienna. But always put a lighter washes first in watercolor, and then you can make it more darker by putting more layers, more color. You can work on wet into wet also, or you can let the one layer dry and then you can put another layer on the top of it. I work mostly wet into wet, then it's easier for me to finish the painting quicker as you pick up the dryer and then dried it up, then you put another layer. So I use some French ultramarine. So French ultramarine has a tendency, it has a more red shade in it. It's a warmer, very transparent pigment, more red in it. It's called, I would say, it's a warmer blue as compared to the cerulean blue and cobalt blue. So I purposely use the French ultramarine. Now I mix it up a little bit more darker brown color, which you can get by mixing cadmium orange and French ultramarine. So if you mix more blue and less brown or orange color, it will give you a nice dark gray color. But if you add some more orange and less blue color, it will become a dark brown color. So it all depends on the ratio. So now I put some almost like dark brown color, as you can see on the subject. The light is coming from the top, and I try to keep it, that portion, open. Purposely I'm not painting over because that's where the light is coming from, on the top of that, behind that bird or subject. Now I'm smudging the color, the layer I put it earlier, and make it smoother, the edges, spreading the pigment on the paper so I can achieve some soft values, like soft washes, and make the value more lighter. So I put some dark value already, as you can see, in the under the wing. Try to create more contrast into my painting. Now this time to render the eyes, let's go into the more detail work, put some fine details into the beak, the eyes, because the most of the part is done, and just small work, get more detail to it. It could be a little bit challenge the way the beak is open. Some people find a little bit difficult to draw a subject like this with the open beak, and as you can see, the other side of the inside of the beak is darker because the less light is going. That's how you create the depth into your painting, by creating dark values in a certain way. So I pick up some more cadmium orange, mix my with my burnt umber mix, so I can get a little bit dark orange color, maybe like a burnt sienna. I don't have the burnt sienna in my palette, but I can make burnt sienna by mixing burnt umber and a cadmium orange. I can get a nice burnt sienna by mixing these two pigments. Working on the claws now. A little bit fine details. More dark value under the wings. As you can see, I'm using the same one brush for the whole painting. It's a round number 6 synthetic brush, which is pretty stiff. It's not smooth and like the natural hair. So more dark value, more contrast. Same mixes, French ultramarine, burnt umber, some sepia color, cadmium orange. This is what the basic colors I'm using here in this painting. I picked it up straight from the palette, French ultramarine. I want to create some blue type of texture here. A little bit more detail around the eyes. More cadmium orange mixed with the burnt umber, so I can get a nice dark orange color. So the first washes are the most important. Once you've done the first washes, it all depends how you lay down the first washes. And then once they are dry, then you basically you're working on a smaller detailed work. More cadmium orange. You can bring the contrast with the either with the dark value or add some more colors in your, if you're working in a color painting, or if it is a black and white painting, then it'll be the contrast will be can be built only with dark values, so it'll be black and white in that case. But here, because I'm working with the color, first I draw and then I using the watercolor, I use some cadmium yellow under the belly and the backside of this bird, and some cadmium yellow I introduce here. You can correct your mistakes that you are initially when you were drawing by just adding, let's say if it is the need more mass on a certain places, you can put more, you can extend the body or the shape of the sketch, but you cannot, you can delete it, but it's hard for you to delete it instead of putting more shape to it. Now I'm putting a French Ultra, this is a Prussian blue, and creating more contrast just by putting color on the background. So this helps the white color to be show more on the top of this bird. So I can avoid it, but I purposely put it because this bring more contrast and it show more where the light is coming from. So just extend that blue color so it doesn't look too bad. Make it lighter. So now the painting is done. I'm just putting some light washes, so all done now. Thanks for watching.